real Madden League. Let's see if we can get a dub, man. Been fucking up.
If you like
Fucking up
anything
bad.
about this one, this is kind of a low budget, kind of silly, pulpy effort, but it's also a really cool, silly, pulpy effort. All right, next up we've got a grim one. It's the only movie directly based on the killings of Jack the Ripper. It's titled From Hell. It stars Johnny Depp, Heather Graham, and was directed by the Hughes brothers, most famous for Dead Presidents and Menace to Society. While this is one of their lesser-known movies, it's also a pretty decent Jack the Ripper flick. Ultimately, I think there's a better movie to be made based on the Jack the Ripper story.
We
But
gotta
as it
get this
stands,
dub,
this is the
man.
best one
The
we've got,
fuck?
and it's
I'm
pretty
fucking
decent.
up.
It happens to be a fairly cool Johnny Depp flick. But fair warning, if you're unfamiliar with Jack the Ripper, or at least unfamiliar with how gruesome his murders were, this is a bloody movie. Now I've got a sci-fi hidden gem mystery flick that's just really slick. It's titled Elizabeth Harvest. Abby Lee stars in this, and she does a great job. It's one of the few leading roles I've seen her in, and she did a great job carrying this movie. It's also completely appropriate that she looks like a supermodel. She's actually a young bride in this movie, and even though her older, well-to-do husband gives her everything she wants, there's one room in the house she's not allowed to go in. Surprise, surprise, she decides to go in one night, and then that's just where things start with Elizabeth Harvest. This one goes into some dark, twisted directions, but it's always really slick and cool, especially for a lower budget flick. This has some fairly high production value, but the main reason to watch this movie is just for the deep mystery that gets unveiled. There's not a lot of action and really not a lot of other characters in this story. Next up, we've got a cult classic that has just been a long time favorite of mine, and I often like to recommend it when I find it on streaming services, which is not that often. The People Under the Stairs.
Something's in here.
We gotta get out of here, Leroy.
All sorts of rumors about what goes on in that house.
This is actually a Wes Craven classic. It came out not long before Scream, and it's a dark, gothic horror, but it too has a little bit of levity to it, which is, I think, why it is held up as a cult classic. The villains in this are super creepy. There's a couple of supporting characters that are really interesting and excellent. Ving Rhames has a little role in this. He's probably the most famous person in this movie. Being a thriller from 1991, it does take a little bit of time getting set up, but once things pop off with the people under the stairs, they really get wild, which is one of the things I love about it. If you've somehow never seen this gem and you're in the mood for a classic horror movie, this is one of my favorites from the early 90s. But next up, we've got a gangster flick from the late 90s that I'm particularly fond of, even if it stars a couple of legendary rappers that can't act for shit in Belly. That's right, Nas and DMX both star in this, and it manages to work. I think they're both particularly awful actors in this movie, but I find everything else with this movie to be so good that I literally do not mind it at all. The soundtrack is incredible. The look and feel of the movie is amazing. This is directed by Hype Williams, who has done some of the most legendary music videos of all time. And he definitely overdoes it with the style in Belly, but that's what I love about it. Honestly, in terms of style, it's a bit ahead of its time. When you consider this came out in 1998, it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's been done much more recently. And because all of the other elements are so well done that I don't mind the acting, this is a movie that also holds up really well over time. If you have any sort of affinity for this genre and this gem somehow escaped you, this is a total cult classic that you need to see. If you're generally not a fan of the genre, though, I'm not sure if Belly is going to necessarily be for you. Which I could say the same thing about my next pick, which some of you are going to raise your eyebrows at, but just give me a minute to explain why I've included Showgirls at the top of my bottom 10. This was directed by Paul Verhoeven and is very famously a bad movie. In fact, this is one of those movies that's just an insane example of what people do on cocaine. There's so many odd choices with this movie that it almost begs to be watched at least once. I can see where most people would find that that is enough, but Showgirls is actually filled with some top-notch cinematography, some very good acting alongside some very terrible acting, and that's because this was made as a big budget production. There's actually a lot of heat behind this thing, and it was very much intended to be a dynamite flick, but when all the creative minds involved are literally strung out on cocaine the entire time, you end up with this mess of a movie that is still somehow thoroughly entertaining. But before we talk about the rest of the movies on this list, I do want to tell you about an amazing Black Friday deal from today's sponsor, Dr. Squatch. A natural soap for men with actual grit. These bars feel great as you rub them on your body, and as you can see, they lather really well, and they smell great. This being my personal favorite, Wood Barrel Bourbon. It smells incredible and oddly delicious. Dr. Squatch makes me feel so manly in the shower, I have to take a candlelit bubble bath afterwards just to tone things down. They also...
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Your discretion is advised, and we encourage everyone to always follow the local regulations. The purpose of this channel is to educate and inform, not to promote illegal activity or substance abuse. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That is incomplete. Jalen Hyatt was the intended target, and now it's second down. You look at this Cowboy defense. They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
Now a 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
He'll drop to throw. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have in that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
They'll try the left side. Tate, and he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2nd and 9 now. His throw here is incomplete.
They certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
On 1st down, it's Tate. And he'll go down at the 28. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Hit as he throws.
Man, almost took that up.
I don't think either one of us is surprised by who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. There's a short one caught by Johnson. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3. Looking to throw. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
All right.
And that one blown up quickly.
All right.
As he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From the gun on 3rd down, Logan.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48 and a return of 8. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Here now, 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Tate. And he spins past him and into space. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 43 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
Bruh. Definitely not the right audible.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They're going to look to throw. That's complete. It's News. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Trying to connect there with Wan'Dale Robinson. And that'll bring up 2nd down. You look at this Cowboy defense. They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
Well, there wasn't anything wrong with them on that play, was there? Able to make a nice stop, held them to no gain. The key to their defense, though, is exactly what the defensive coordinator told you and I. They've got to be consistent.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
They need 18 yards here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw.
Good dude.
And that is incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have the kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
New York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
We definitely ain't got 30 sacks.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
Back to throw now on first down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Left side, Cook. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The Cowboys at 3-5, 2 games under 500. Charles, they were losers last time. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Logan. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
They'll try to run this one in.
I just
And
told
he
y'all
is
to double
met
up on
in
that
his
motherfucker.
tracks
What the
behind the
fuck?
line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Cook. It's going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle. To the end zone.
Wrong motherfucker.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Well, they're going to try this thing. They're at the 5, 4th and goal. They're going to go for it. We'll see. Run, probably pass to both in the arsenal. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff.
Good shit.
And it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
31 yards there and a 1st down. They finally caught up to him there at the end of the play, but great inside handoff, and what a powerful run.
The first few yards seemed relatively easy. Then it got tougher, right? And that's where he showed that he was not going to go down easily. He was not going to be denied until he got everything he could.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. 18 more yards there and another 1st down. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to the end zone real fast.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw.
Why did you go way over there? What was that shit?
It's complete. It's so close, he gets it to the
Why did he go all the way over there?
Bounds right there. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far on this drive.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown.
Terrible.
The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Giants are once again back in front. Now Cade York for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7.
How did that motherfucker move like that?
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. First down, here's the run with Cook. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
He finds his man complete. That's Gomez. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 38-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try the left side. McElroy, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. Operating from the gun, Logan. He finds his man complete. It's Gomez.
Good shit.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, and it's second down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Here's 2nd and 8. And he's got his big tight end here. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 23. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Give to Cook out of the gun. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun. Logan. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
But they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. They'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Still needing 10 yards. Now it's third down. Operating from the gun, Logan. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. He's going to let it go again. That's caught inside the 20.
Damn!
All the way in. Touchdown,
Good shit.
New York. Jalen Hyatt as the first half is winding down.
Something
and the
told me
Giants
to
have
switch on
taken the
that
lead here in the
motherfucker.
final stages of this
Good
first
shit.
half. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A two-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Logan.
And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
And I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
The slot man in motion right. A final shot before break. Logan, he's going to go deep for Conley.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Deontay Banks with it. Down the left sideline. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Blaze up.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun. Logan. That is caught. And he works through. There he goes left side. Still on his feet. Inside the 10.
Excellent.
Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Cowboys come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will make this a 4-point game. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
Quick run commit.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Back to throw.
Oh! Dang.
That time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 2nd and 20. Back to throw here. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And now they're inside the 10. He's brought down at the 9. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. 3rd down. Here's Tracy.
Damn, this shit.
First down before he's tackled at the 5. They'll set up to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
Good shit.
A 5-yard touchdown. And the Giants have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. Extra point by York is up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the third quarter. Now they relinquished that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right? Where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that? That maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. McElroy, and he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
From the gun on 3rd down, Logan able to find the open man. That's complete, and he will have a Cowboys first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You don't see too many cornerbacks coming up with hits like that in the running game. He announced his presence right there and knocked it back for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Looking for the crossing route. He's got Mitchell. That'll give him 8 that time. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Logan. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. And it's going to yield a new set of downs.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end. And he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
run on first down. McElroy.
Bounce,
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Cook up the gut.
Good shit. Good shit.
Right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness. Just about got him into the end zone.
Cook is not
good
going to
shit,
get in
good
here
shit.
as they push him back to the 2-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, after the loss on first down, they're going to walk that line and understand they don't have to rush just yet, but time is still going to be a factor in decision-making. Call your play. Make sure everyone knows what they're doing. You have to score a touchdown here. You've got to find a way to cash in.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Another shot here from the 2 as they come up on 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Logan.
Good catch. Good catch.
Touchdown, Cowboys. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter.
And that 3rd counter there gives them the lead, and it's obvious they've needed everything that he's given them today. The 3 touchdowns, that's impressive, but without him, they're not winning this game.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will make this a 4-point game. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And they can't bring him down. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not in the premium yet. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Up the middle they go. It's Tate. He can't get him down. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll keep it on the ground. Tate, and he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
That's out quickly to Hyatt.
Man.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Good
A
shit.
big play that time on the catch and run. 30 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. You don't see that a ton, do you? With the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And they'll let the
Damn,
fullback
Bryce,
try and
what the
take him
fuck?
home. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Giants answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth quarter lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Plays up, coach.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
They run it again with Cook.
Good
And this
tackle.
won't be
Good
enough to
tackle.
pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. It's caught. Mitchell. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
But you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3 and out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Looking to throw. Logan.
Mm.
And he'll be hit as he
Come on
releases
now.
it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense.
Good D.
But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little
need
bit,
this.
hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a
bless
game
you.
of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
From the gun on third down. Logan.
Oh, you dropped it?
Gonna be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. Fourth down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Here we are. Been in the game over here. In the zone. In the valley. Going back up out here. It is the day.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the second time.
23rd of June now. We are getting really close to the end. Oh, getting up there. It's a beautiful play.
Now that one came close to hitting the big scoreboard up there as the fair catch is made inside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead.
Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles.
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back.
That ain't how you do it, fellas.
Get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
They go play action here on first down.
High up there to grab it.
Get your hands up,
So the
man.
completion good for 7 there, and it's second down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Tate. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 3rd down, Reedy. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
And now just 3 seconds before the 2-minute warning, they're going to call a timeout here defensively.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 3.
They'll keep it on the ground. Reedy. Nifty move. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the give, it's Tracy. I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. He connects with Hyatt. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see. And other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have to have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes. But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now 2nd and 9 from the 10. Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up. They showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Now a handoff looking right, and he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that right there is a definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101, check that box.
Extra point by York is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
Let that one slip away, fellas. We let it slip away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Logan. He's got the hook up with Conley. Now he's into the clear again. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game, one behind the all-time record of 5. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So 20 seconds remain. It'll come down to this. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go, Tim.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first. Now they're in a really bad spot.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that
Good game, though. I ain't
victory?
mad at my fellas.
They'll cherish
Fuck it.
this one for a while.
So for the Giants, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Dallas, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11.
Probably got another season.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis.
I'm back here, back at Oldie's house. Same thing has happened as last time. I just measured 2 days ago, and 2 days just went by. We're going to end the episode off right schmeow. I want to see your measurement. I know you guys have been waiting. I've been waiting myself, too. I'm super curious. Especially after last time, since I did him dirty, and wasn't here when I did your way, and that is pretty fucked up. How would you feel? Yeah, you touched my plants on God. But, dude, I did the best I could for the episode. Yeah, you did what you did. Let's do it together. Let's do this thing. We're about to find out right now. We're going to take a measurement. I know already off top of rub-a-dub is, I think, my widest plant, so I'd like to measure this one. It's not the tallest plant. I already know Bleezy's, just looking at it right now, Bleezy's is taller. Yeah, it was like 5 or something. But I have another one that I'd like to measure, too, because it's super cool and wide and nice and taller. Since it's hard to decide, then you're going to have to measure, too, to figure it out. But I guess like we did last time, I'll slide it over. Straight this way? Is this your widest point? Yeah, like this way right here, over to the other branch on this side is like my widest part right there. Okay. How you want to do it? You're going to hook it through? I'll slide it over to you. This is where the hole in the cage really comes in. I really like having a hole, an access hole. Even though it sucks because one side, like you're on a full 360s. Mine don't get some on that side, so it's easier to have an opening. I know, I thought about doing the opening door, but then I was like, I don't know, like it's nice to have an opening. It is, but I'm just kind of going savage and just crawling in when I need, and I don't know, when you grow trees, it's hard. The opening's fucking badass, yeah, it makes my life so much easier. Okay. I'm gonna pass it through to you. Pass it over like you just did that blunt. I see it. Okay. Getting close? Yeah, yep. Oh, hey. Where are you at? There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna, from that point down. Okay. You wanna come look? No, I just believe what number you're at. I mean, you can see the number on camera if you want, but it's 100. Look on camera. 104 inches. Whoa, 10 inches wide. When the wind stops again. It was out there, I promise. Oh, wait, mine's 99 inches, so yours is... Yeah. Yeah, I'd say 5 inches. Look at the tip of that leaf. It's just freaking wind, dude. Don't lie to me. It's okay, I believe you. Okay, yeah, so... You got 4 inches wider. You did good, you did good. It's pretty wide. That's pretty wide. We're going to have to do the math, though, because, like you're saying, yours isn't as tall. Let's see the tallness. How do we get the tallness now? I got a ladder over here. We'll do something. This is going to be a pain in the ass, and every week we're going to measure. We might not want to measure every single episode. I don't know. I know you guys would like it. I'd like it too, but what a fucking pain in the ass it's going to be. Oh. Yeah. So. We're slightly crooked too, but it's okay. Slightly crooked? Like, it's okay. Yeah. It's looking like we're at 74.5 inches, almost 75 inches, so 6 foot 3 inches. 6 foot 3 inches. It's not as tall as Bleezy's, I knew it. No, mine's 7 foot, about 7 inches. So I got 7 inches